Hi guys. Oh, I think I'm live. Maybe live? Tell me if I'm live. I see you guys talking in my Hangtime app, and I see my face on my YouTube. So sorry this started late. Hopefully it's going. Yay, I'm live. Okay, hello everybody. So sorry we had some technical problems. My Wi-Fi is not being super awesome today. Yay, I can see myself in the app. Hooray! I am Cherry Dollface, for those of you guys that do not know who I am. Welcome to my Hangtime Hangout session. I'm really excited. If you guys are watching this on my YouTube channel, be sure to download the Hangtime app. The link to download that is actually in my description in my YouTube channel. I will only be answering questions that are on the Hangtime app. So this app is super awesome. Hopefully it works with my internet. I've been instructed to not move around too much because apparently that will make it the resolution bad. So I'm like a robot here just hanging out. Definitely let me know in the comments if there are any problems with the resolution. Yay! Like I said, my name is Cherry Dollface. I do YouTube videos and Instagram. I do vintage hair and makeup. So today I'm going to be doing some vintage eyebrows. As you can tell, I have nothing done to my eyebrows right now, which is kind of scary. So I'm going to be doing my eyebrows as I'm answering your questions. The other thing too is I want to let you guys know we're going to do a giveaway. So I wrote a book last year. Here it is. It's called Dollface Vintage. It's an everyday gal's guide to the vintage lifestyle. Sorry, I'm getting over being sick. It basically is a book about all things vintage, and we are going to be giving away one of these books at the end of every one of these live streams that I'm doing with you guys. So I'm going to be doing one tonight, one on the 17th, and one on the 31st at the same time. They're all Wednesdays. And to win this book, all you have to do is be the biggest channel contributor. So basically, you have to watch the longest, you have to invite the most friends, and you have to do the trivia at the end of this video, which will be awesome. We're not going to do the trivia exactly 6:30 tonight because I did start a little bit late, so it'll probably get started about 6:45. But the trivia is going to be super, super fun, and they're going to be questions related to sort of the things that I do. So if you guys do already follow me, you might have a leg up in the trivia. So whoever contributes the best in all of those regions is going to win a copy of my book at the end of each live stream, which is super awesome because who doesn't love free stuff? Oh, and I didn't mention that my book will be signed to whoever wins it, which is even more awesome. So, all right, technical stuff is down. Let's do some makeup. So today I am just going to use pencil because I find that people find pencil a little bit easier than all the pomades you're seeing out there. So I am using two pencils. These are both by Benefit Cosmetics. It is precisely my brow pencil, and I have it in 3 and 4, which are the colors. So one that matches and one that is a little bit darker. So the one that matches, I'm going to just start on the bottom of my brow. So to measure, basically how you measure where your brow should start, arch, and end, and especially in a vintage brow, is you're going to hold your pencil up against your nose and line it up with the inner corner of your eye. Hopefully you guys can see this. Oh yeah, and I'm sorry, I'm on Pacific time for you guys that are on Eastern time. So line it up there, and bloop, that's where your eyebrow should start. So I'm going to make a little mark. So I'm going to do the same line from the inner corner of my nose to my pupil, and that is where your brow should arch. So you can just make a little mark there. And then the same line from the corner of your nose to the outer corner of your eye, whoop, and that is where your brow should end. So those give you kind of general guidelines to work by. If you get a little messy with these, it's totally fine. You can always go back and wipe them away. That's the other reason why I like pencil when you're kind of just learning, because it's not as, excuse me, it's not as hard to get off as the pomade. Okay, so now I'm going to start on that inner line. Hopefully you guys can see me. I'm looking at this on my YouTube channel, but there's a little bit of a delay for me, so I can't really see how well you guys are seeing me. So hopefully you guys can see me well. So I'm just going to draw my line straight from the bottom to where the arch should be. And then I'm going to kind of draw in little hair strokes here. And I'm just doing this in short little strokes to make it look more natural so that it's not completely painted on. Then I'm going to draw a line from the arch straight down to where that end of the eyebrow should be. Now with a vintage brow, excuse me, with a vintage brow, it's totally cool to pull it out a little bit further because that's what gives it sort of that like vintage look. Sorry, I'm looking at your guys' comments instead of looking at you. I feel like I'm looking you in the eye when I'm looking here, but I also feel like I need to look at these things. Sorry, Jack Attack, that you don't get makeup. Hopefully this isn't too weird for you guys. Hopefully you learned something and it's a little bit entertaining. I don't know. We'll see. So this is going to be another straight line. So basically I did a straight line up to the arch and a straight line down from there. Now the actual angle of your brow totally depends on your eyebrow. It depends on the shape of your face. It depends on the shape of your eyebrows. So some girls have a really arched eyebrow. I have kind of a medium arched eyebrow, and some girls have really straight eyebrows. So don't try to fake your arch. Just go with whatever is natural on your brow. So then I'm going to take this line and I'm going straight up. And I'm making this parallel to the line that I did down here. And I'm just going to go to that arch line. And then I'm going to do a straight line down to the point. So essentially I'm just outlining my eyebrow. So right now it looks kind of just like a triangle. You have calculated that it should be 142.4 degrees. I like it. Excellent. I feel like Jack Attack and Mike S are like going for the most hang time on the Hangtime app. I like it. If you can hang through an eyebrow tutorial, then you guys are doing good. So now I'm basically just going and I'm filling in what I just outlined. So now because this brow color matches my brows pretty well, or sorry, matches my hair pretty well, but it's a little bit lighter than my actual brows, so that's why I'm taking the other pencil in a 4, which is a shade darker, and yes, a black Sharpie is totally fine, Mike. Are you drawing a line at the top, bottom, or middle? So I'm drawing a line both. So a line at the bottom to the arch, and then from the arch to the end, and then on the top of the arch, and then from the arch to the end. I'll do it on the other side too. What makes this a vintage brow versus any regular brow? It's just basically it's thinner than what you guys are seeing on Instagram right now, and it's got that arch that makes it vintage, and it pulls out a little bit further. So honestly, the brows that are happening right now on the internet, especially on Instagram, are pretty similar to vintage brows shape-wise because I feel like an arch is in right now. But I also feel like they're going a lot thicker and a lot more sculpted, which is not what we are doing today. So Adam, you can get a shout out. Hi, Adam. Yay. Okay, so now I'm taking that darker pencil and I'm just going to go and draw some little hair strokes. And I'm just doing this so that my brow looks a little bit more natural and it doesn't look like I have just outlined a light color around my dark eyebrows. So, ta-da! So now that product disappears in my brows. Hooray! So the other thing too is that I have very unruly thick eyebrows naturally. So I'm using some brow gel. This is just an Anastasia Beverly Hills brow gel. When it comes to pencil and pomade, I'm pretty picky with the brands I use. I usually only use Benefit or Anastasia. When it comes to brow gel, you can use whatever you want. It's just really to hold your brows in place. Do not use hairspray. Please do not use hairspray. Okay. So now I am going to sculpt just a little bit, and I'm using Benefit's Highbrow. I hope these aren't backwards on my camera. I guess we'll see. Hangtime doesn't enforce gender roles. That's good that they don't enforce gender roles. Okay, so now I'm only doing this on the outer corner, and this is just basically a pencil to sort of accentuate the tip of the brow. This is really, really sharp right now because I haven't been using it. Usually when it's more rounded, it's not as dark, but that's okay. I'm going to usually I use a concealer brush, but today I'm going to use a foundation brush because I'm going buck wild. And I'm just going to use this to blend. Ugh, this is not the brush that I need. Good thing I'm sitting right next to all of my brushes so I can find another one that will be just as good, that hopefully doesn't have really dark makeup on it. We'll see. This is where I film all of my tutorials, just so you guys know. This is where the magic happens. The funny thing when you are live is there's no editing, so if you mess things up, Too bad. Hopefully that doesn't look crazy on camera. But I like to do just a little bit on the edge just to make it look really extra sharp. You like my earrings? They say doll face. Hopefully they're not backwards. No, they're not. Yay. All right. All right. Let's do the other eyebrow. Does anybody have any other makeup questions while I do my other eyebrow that I can answer while I'm doing this? Because I've already told you how to do this. Hangtime is fun. You are right, Jack. Yeah, this is actually really cool to do this and to see all of your questions kind of all in one place and to have you guys all interact with each other. This is cool. I'm actually really excited for trivia. I hope you guys are excited for trivia too, because trivia is one of my favorite things in the world. Like, I grew up on Jeopardy, and so I am a child of the trivia era. Better make sure I have the right color. Yes, I do. And I'm actually really interested because Hangtime actually put together the trivia, and I don't know what the questions are. So I might actually just play along with you guys. Even though I might spank all of you because it's trivia related to what I do. IT Cosmetics. You know, I'm not sure if I've used that brand. I feel like maybe they've sent me one or two very small things, but it's not something I've used a ton of. So I'm not totally sure about that brand. One of the few, actually. There's so many brands that I've used, but not that one. The other thing about your eyebrows, too, going back to brows, is that don't be upset if they're not the same exact shape, because guess what, friends? Eyebrows are sisters and not twins, which means that very few people have perfectly symmetrical faces, which mean very few people have perfectly symmetrical eyebrows. So it's really normal that they'll be shaped a little bit differently. So don't freak out if that's the case. It's not the end of the world. Oh my gosh, Bangs, you are driving me crazy. You know what? I have a hair clip. I'm not supposed to be moving too much. You guys can still see me. I have very light eyebrows and I'm platinum blonde. What shade do you recommend? When girls are very, very, very blonde, I do not recommend like white eyebrows, obviously, because you'll end up looking kind of sick. I would go with like a nice like light caramel color or like a medium blonde color. And also if you have crazy colored hair, wouldn't match your hair. I would go with like the tone of your hair, so like a brown or a blonde or whatever the tone is of your hair instead. Okay, vintage brows. Where did that come from? What era? So these brows I'm doing today are more of like 1950s style brows, especially with such a high arch, because the arches didn't really come in until the 50s. Brows in the 30s and the 40s tended to be pretty straight and really long, which is not my personal style, and they were also really, really, really thin. They started to thicken up in the 50s, which for me is nice. Also, a thicker brow in general actually makes you look younger, and it's kind of the goal in life, I think, unless you're like 15, but I'm clearly not 15, so I don't want to look older. Yay. What is your favorite mascara? My favorite mascara is They're Real by Benefit. It is amazing. And you know my favorite inexpensive mascara? You guys are lucky because I'm sitting right next to my makeup right now. Is this Shake Mascara by Rimmel, which is really weird. You can hear. Oh, I'm not supposed to be moving. It's got like a little shaker in it, but I love the little applicator. It is amazing. I don't know what it is about it. It's actually the mascara that I used tonight before I put my fake lashes on, and I really, really dig it. Hooded tricks for eyeliner. So when you're doing eyeliner on hooded eyes, I generally don't do giant wings because I feel like it actually accentuates the hoodedness of your eye. Also on my eyes, my eyeliner kind of goes down and up. With a hooded eye, you kind of want to go opposite. So you want to go up and then down, and not obviously like at an angle, make it rounded, but then when your eye is open, it will look like a wing instead of looking like it just disappears into the hood of your eye. I do not have hooded eyes, so it's very hard for me to make tutorials because I can only use the eyeballs that I have. So there's actually a lot of good hooded eye makeup tutorials or eyeliner tutorials on the YouTubes that you can find. All right. Ooh, I didn't blend this side very well. There's people using profanities in my hallway. All right. Man, eyebrows were a lot faster than I thought they were. Hangtime Jill. Hangtime Jill, you must work for Hangtime. Hi, welcome to my Hangtime. I feel like you guys are having conversations about people that are doing hang times, and I don't know who these people are. It's making me feel really left out. That's okay. That's acceptable. All right, so now my eyebrows are done. We can just do a Q&A. If you guys have any questions really about anything, I would be happy to answer them while I do not move around too much. I'm actually going to take my sweater off because I'm getting a little toasty in here. Like I said before, also, I will be doing 2 more Hangtime hangouts, one on the 17th and one on the 31st, both at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, so 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And each one of those will be doing different sort of vintage-y themed kind of things. So definitely come hang out if you want to find out what we will be doing. Mike S., favorite photo shoot of all time. Photo shoot of my own? Oh my goodness, I don't know. There's been so many. One time I did a photo shoot for a line of Bell helmets where they painted my entire body gold, and I was like basically like the trophy, and I was holding a helmet. And they body painted me with gold, and then my friend Scratch, who was a car painter, in his car paint gun, he sprayed, or he put in hairspray and gold glitter, and then he like flaked me, which actually hurt, but I was like super glittery and amazing, and it was really funny walking around town after that, being complete, I mean, my face, my hair, everything, I was totally gold. That was probably one of like the funniest shoots that I ever did. I've done a lot of good shoots, though. I've done some pretty miserable shoots. Anytime I'm cold is not fun. Shooting latex, I shot latex once on the beach, and I was wearing black latex, and my bum literally was burning, like it was burning the latex, so my lovely husband had to stand behind me with the light reflector to block the sun from burning my butt off. So that was an interesting one. Brands of makeup brushes do you use? Honestly, my makeup brushes are all sitting next to me. I use such a mix of brands in my makeup brushes. I have Sugar Pill, I have, what is this, Kat Von D, I have BH Cosmetics. I am not loyal to one brand. Morphe brushes I love, Furless brushes are great. I get a lot of stuff for free, so I kind of pick and choose from what I get, but I really just kind of pick a little from here, a little from there. I have expensive brushes. This is a MAC brush. I have really cheap brushes. BH Cosmetics brushes are really cheap, so I don't feel like you really need to like be loyal to one brand. How do you film thin brows without making them look drawn on? The little strokes that I was doing really, really helps. If you have really, really light eyebrows, I would avoid doing the drawing that I did, and I would actually instead just do that with small strokes so you don't have an outline. The thing is that I have dark eyebrows naturally, so once they're done, it doesn't look like they have an outline around them, so I would avoid doing that if you have really, really light brows or thin brows. Also, too, if you guys have thin or light brows, don't be afraid of what your brows look like when they're done. A lot of the time I do makeup on girls, they're like, oh my god, my brows are so dark. It's just because you're not used to seeing them like that on yourself. When another person sees you, they're going to go, oh my god, your eyebrows look amazing. So unless you're using like a black pencil, they're probably just fine. Hey, that retro nerd. Also, like I said before, if any of you guys are joining us late, we are doing a biggest channel contributor contest, and the winner is going to win a copy of my book. Yay, Dollface Vintage. And it is a manual for all things vintage. It's got hair and makeup tricks and all kinds of stuff in it. So to win a copy of this book, we're going to give away one at the end of each live stream that I'm doing tonight, the 17th and 31st. To win a copy, you have to be the biggest channel contributor. So you have to watch my videos the longest, you have to invite the most friends, and you have to win the most trivia. So, and that goes for my live streams. So you basically have to, oh my gosh, I just saw there's little things on the screen. There's little, they look like little Pac-Mans. And little, hey, someone gave me a poop. Why didn't you give me a poop? Maybe it's a good poop, like I'm the poop. I don't know. Anyways, that's kind of fun. I just noticed that. So yeah, so if you want to be the biggest contributor, definitely contribute the most, and you can win a signed copy. I forgot to say that before too. A signed copy of my book. Yay. Oh no, now I'm losing my feed. I'm talking too much. What's a good way to check that you are creating a cute vintage outfit rather than something just crazy, not cute? Well, first of all, I don't care about being crazy. Obviously, my style is kind of a mix of vintage and modern. Back in the day, they didn't wear big, gigantic doll face earrings, and they didn't have a bunch of tattoos. Excuse me. But I can also do the traditional vintage as well. So for me, I like to do a mix of whatever I think is cute plus the vintage style. If you feel like you look crazy, then you probably look crazy, and maybe you shouldn't do that. But if you think you look cute, then you do you, boo-boo. Like, whatever. You look cute. Kat Von D to cover my ink. No, I've never covered my tattoos. I feel like, why? I have so many of them. I don't have a job where I have to cover them. I've seen other people cover with her stuff, and it works amazing. So, tips on wet setting for fine hair. When you're wet setting for fine hair, you definitely want to use a good setting cream. Make sure that your sections are not too small. If they're too small, you're going to end up with crazy poodle hair. And also, when you go to brush out your brush out, you just have to brush out a little bit less than you would with thick hair because you might actually brush out the set. Will I make it to Boston? I don't have any plans. This is my last year of touring, and Boston is not on this year's itinerary, so I don't know. Who knows? Maybe this year we'll book like mad and I'll decide to tour for another year, but so far, no. How do you put on makeup? Jack attack. Hi. Hello to everyone. Any tweezing tips? Yeah, my best tweezing tip is to actually draw your eyebrows on how you want them shaped and then tweeze around that shape. It's really easy if you go and get them, waxed or threaded or whatever because they know what they're doing. But when you're trying to tweeze on yourself, it's so easy to over tweeze. So if you draw your brows in the way that you want, you're kind of using a guideline. Aw, you cried when you got your signed photo of me. That's really sweet. Thank you. Not that I ever want anybody to cry, but that's still really sweet. Yeah, best advice is if you think you look crazy, you probably look crazy. I know, I'm full of the good advice. You wish you were a good judge of whether you look crazy. Me too, honestly. There's been times where I'm like, yeah, I look good. And then a year later, I'll look at the pictures from that night and I'm like, I don't look good at all. Someone lied to me. Another good way of knowing if you look crazy is to have good friends that will be honest. My husband will definitely be honest with me. Sometimes too much where I'm like, I feel so good. And he's like, oh, you look a little nuts. And then I probably do. I like your hashtag random user. Good stuff. Do I have any other secret hobbies? Picking my nose when I drive. I don't know if that's considered a hobby, but it's definitely a secret. I actually had a friend drive by me once. I used to live in the middle of nowhere, and there was a big stretch of road. You just drive. There's nobody for miles. That was always where I would pick my nose. And one day I was driving, and I got a text 5 minutes later, and it was from her. And she's like, I just passed you, and you're totally digging for gold. And I was super busted. Those are the days I cared. I don't really care anymore. That's a really weird hobby. I like to do puzzles. I guess that's a hobby. I'm working on a Harry Potter puzzle right now. Okay. I think we're going to go for 3 more minutes, and then I'm trying to kind of judge the time because we started late, but I think giving it another 3 minutes will be good time. So if you have questions, get them in now. It is really easy to over tweeze for sure. Ooh, thank you. Jackie Yu said my eyeshadow looks amazing. Maybe we'll do some eyeshadow or something next time. I don't know. Maybe we'll do some hair, some vintage hair, perhaps. Trevor is good today. Trevor is at home waiting for me to come pick him up to get dinner once this is done. And poor Trevor, because we started late, is like, hello, what are you doing? So that's okay. He can wait. You guys are more important. Aw, I adore you too, sweet Lady J. What does Raymond Warner do? I don't know what Raymond Warner does. Is he the guy that cooks stuff? I don't know. Don't ask me. I'm not here for trivia. You guys are here for trivia. How is my health? It is worrisome to see your heart surgery issues. My health is okay. For those of you that don't know, I had heart surgery, my 3rd heart surgery in May, and it was unsuccessful. They could not fix what they went in to fix. So I've just been kind of working on more holistic things and changing things in my diet and taking vitamins and all of that fun stuff. So my health has been fine. I'm trucking along. Oh, you're freezing. That's terrible. I'm in my office with my heat cranked way up, so I'm nice and toasty. Tips for applying false lashes. Oh my goodness. False lashes are a really hard one unless I'm actually physically showing you. I have a video on YouTube on how to apply fake lashes. Should give you every trick known to man. It's 5 whole minutes long. Yeah. They're actually really, really easy. My favorite eyeshadow palette. Well, the eyeshadow palette that I used to put my eyeshadow on today just happens to be right next to me because I did it here. This is the Kat Von D Shade and Light Eye Contour Palette. It's amazing. It has everything you need. The problem for me is that on the inner corner of my eyes and underneath my brow, I use a white, and most eyeshadow palettes have nudes, but they don't have a white, and hers has an actual white, which is awesome. And when I travel, I don't like to bring a lot of things. So this one I love. I also am living for the Modern Renaissance palette. Usually when I do my eyeshadow, I do a combination of those two palettes for like everyday stuff. I have about a gazillion palettes if you guys could only see what is sitting next to me, but those are the two that I like. I have not tried magnetic lashes. They're crazy. Crazy to me. I don't get it. I also have really big white eyes and they're really short, so I feel like they would just be like pink on either end and they would just look silly. Okay, so I think we're gonna wrap this up, you guys. I think we're about at the half-hour point from when I started. Maybe, perhaps. So yeah, we'll give it another minute so that the tech people can get trivia ready. Be sure you stick around for trivia. There's going to be lots of interesting things relating to what I do in this world, to the pinup vintage world. There might even be some questions about me. I don't know. I didn't put it together, so who knows what will be in there. I'm going to hang with you guys for a little bit for the trivia just to see what it's all about, because I'm really curious about this whole business, and this is my first hang time, so it's fun being on this side of it. All right. So are single eyeshadows better quality than palettes? Depends on the brand, really. You can get really crappy eyeshadow palettes and really crappy single eyeshadows, and vice versa. Okay, so before we end, I want to make sure that you guys come back tomorrow and check out Billy Perry at 6 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. Eastern time. He's going to be doing a hangout tomorrow. We'll see what he's all about, what he's going to be doing. And again, be sure to hang out with me again on Wednesday the 17th and Wednesday the 31st of this month. We're going to be doing some more vintage lifestyle stuff. Who knows? It'll be hair or more makeup or more clothing. You never know what you're going to get with me. Good luck, Mike S., winning the book. I feel like it's yours. But yeah, that's it. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. This was super, super much fun. And now I have to do all the technical stuff to end all of this. We'll see. I'm not a technical person. You guys are awesome. Thanks, Hangtime, for having me. I will see you guys next Wednesday. All right. Bye, guys.